Walking with Dinosaurs was the brainchild of producers Jasper James and Tim Haynes. After completing the series in 2005 with Walking with Monsters, they split and went their separate ways to make independent prehistoric animal series, but under the same company, Impossible Pictures. Jasper produced The Wonder That Is Prehistoric Park, which of course was broadcast on ITV in the summer of 2006. The following February, a very different series aired, and that was of course Tim Haynes' Primeval. Unlike all of Impossible Pictures' previous ventures into the world of prehistory, Primeval was a straight drama, rather than being an educational docu-mockumentary. It had professional actors, a running plotline, and animals that looked a lot like Walking with Dinosaurs on steroids. Except that there were no non-avian dinosaurs in the first series of Primeval. The first episode, for example, has Permian animals. We see our first in the form of a Gorgonopsid, a therapsid predator that first appeared in Walking with Monsters. The genus is never specified, namely because the animal in the show is about twice the size of the largest Einonstransavier. Whether the Gorgonopsians had fur or not is a matter of debate, though they probably had lips covering their teeth and probably didn't have scoots on their heads. They also couldn't throw cars. This Gorgonopsid is going after a woman in a car park. We travel forward 8 years and meet our main characters. There's Connor Temple, a middle-aged screenwriter's idea of a nerdy university student. There's Nick Cutter, a middle-aged screenwriter's idea of a paleontologist. And there's Stephen, who's the series' token muscle man. Oh look, a giant fictional Walking with Dinosaurs Liopleurodon.
It's the Sarcopterygian. There's no trace of them in the fossil record for 70 million years, and then suddenly one of them just pops up in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Totally inexplicable in modern evolutionary terms.
Now, given the premise of this show, are we implying that Latimer coelacanths are simply prehistoric animals that went through time portals? So the plot is that Connor wants Nick to investigate a creature sighting. Nick, like any person confronted by a conspiracy theorist who believes aliens started life on Earth and the Loch Ness Monster was killed by the government, tells him he doesn't care. Connor then nonchalantly tells him that the sighting was in the Forest of Dean, where Nick's wife Helen disappeared 8 years previously, so he immediately agrees to check it out.
The Forest of Dean.
When they arrive, they find a truck that has been torn open and a fence that has been ripped apart. The latter feat is something I yet again doubt that any Gorgonopsian would be able to achieve. At the same time as this, there's another plot thread, where lizard keeper Abby Maitland at Wellington Zoo has been sent to pick up a flying lizard. Unlike Prehistoric Park, I can't really commend the music in Primeval. It turns out that the lizard isn't a flying lizard at all, but a basal diapsid known as a Coelurosaurus. This reconstruction is obviously cutesied up to make it look more appealing, whereas the real thing had a ceratopsian-like neck frill. This one is given a rounded skull like a conventional dinosaur, and a soft tissue head crest.
His name's Rex.
How original. Abby's convinced that it must be a new species, so she asks him to tell her where he found it. Instead, they find a dead cow in a tree. Now, I'm all for speculative behaviour, but hold on, we already established that this is a massive 6-metre long, multi-ton Gorgonopsid. Do you really think it's going to be able to do that? At a nearby hotel, Nick gets acquainted with a member of the Home Office called Claudia Brown. She's also there to investigate the creature sighting and agrees to join them in the search. Meanwhile, the boy runs off and bumps into a time portal. He then runs home, cuts himself on a fence, and then gets attacked by a Gorgonopsid. Because apparently that one drop of blood on a fence was enough for the Gorgonopsid to decide this was the person to attack. Did you know that Gorgonopsids hate the Kaiser Chiefs? You do now. Apparently they also hate being hit in the face with big glowy ball things. In the forest, Abby bumps into a Scutosaurus, as well as the rest of the main characters. Like every other animal on this show, it's been dinosaured up a bit, most notably in its size.
5 or 6 tons at least.
Plesiosaurs rarely exceeded 1 ton.
It must be some kind of an apsid.
A tortoise.
Hey, 2017 called. Tortoises are not related to plesiosaurs anymore.
It looks like a dinosaur and behaves like a dinosaur. It's a dinosaur.
No, Connor, it's a plesiosaur, and an apsid reptile not even closely related to dinosaurs.
I'll be making a complaint. She's filled his head with all sorts of stupid ideas.
So now we go back to the house, where the mother is completely incredulous about the fact that the boy's room has been torn apart by a giant predator, despite the fact that it clearly has been. Do you really think a small 10-year-old boy can do this sort of damage?
But I saw the past.
Prehistoric times. I was there.
You saw the past?
There was desert and rocks and things.
There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rings.
With this knowledge, they decide to chase the Scootosaurus to find out where it thinks is safe. That place is, of course, the past. They find the time portal. That morning, government soldiers deploy around the anomaly and take away Rex. Nick and Abby are taken in to make official statements, but for some reason Connor and Stephen are left in the forest. We are then introduced to yet another main character, none other than comedian and actor Ben Miller, who gets the "and" in the opening credits. He doesn't exactly get along with Nick Cutter.
And this anomaly, as you call it, is a door between time zones in the world's history? Suppose this remarkable theory is correct. What do the immediate risks?
Famine, war, pestilence, the end of the world as we know it.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
The usual stuff.
I think I could do without the facetiousness.
They then move on to have a look at the Home Office scientists analysing
Really
Rex.
shouldn't handle a lizard like that.
It's not a lizard though.
They don't know what they're doing. You really shouldn't mess with an angry lizard.
I just told you it wasn't a lizard.
Do they even know he can fly?
What was that about flying?
You can fly.
Pretty well.
That wasn't flying. That was falling with style.
In the end, Ben decides to allow Cutter to explore the anomaly, probably because he wants him to be eaten by a large predator.
I'm taking the lizard back.
Oh, come on, of all people, you should know it's not a bloody lizard! All the while, Connor and Stephen have been hunting the predator. Connor makes the realisation that the predator they are hunting is a Gorgonopsid.
If we are talking Permian, then this little charmer is the prime suspect. The Gorgonopsid.
Wow, Connor has a perfect quality picture of the CGI model of the Gorgonopsid used.
And it's got incredible power, Steve, and if it is still out there, then you have to find it. Fast.
For some reason, this Gorgonopsid seems to have it out for the boy who he smelt the blood of once.
There's a dinosaur in the playground.
Really, Ben? How old are you now?
Goodness sake, Ben, everyone knows that's a synapsid, you moron! Stephen challenges the Gorgonopsid to a duel. The Gorgonopsid wins, of course, but he doesn't eat him for some reason, just leaving him unconscious. Back at the anomaly, Cutter is preparing to enter. We are then introduced to yet another character, Soldier Man. Claudia tells Nick that he can't go through the time portal unless Captain Soldier Man comes with him, so he grudgingly obliges. They finally go through the time portal. Nick releases Rex into the wild and Nick goes looking for Helen, but then Soldier Man finds a wrecked camp and a dead body. The dead body of one of the main characters from the program, perhaps. Nick says he wants to stay behind to look for Helen, but Soldier Man isn't having any of it. He eventually manages to persuade Cutter to come back with him through the time portal. Somehow Rex managed to sneak through the time portal without anyone noticing, so Abby decides to kidnap him. But look who's back, it's Stephen in a car who proceeds to run over the Gorgonopsid and then machine gun it to death for good measure. Good job, guys! So back in the past they found a camera which now turns out to have pictures of Helen on it. That evening Cutter finds a live ammonite on his desk, but doesn't do what I would do, which would be put it in a tank of water as soon as possible. Nah, he's much too preoccupied with just another human. So that was episode 1 of Primeval. No, it wasn't very accurate, but you know, as a Saturday night drama I thought it was pretty enjoyable, certainly worth a rewatch.